Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? It hasn't been a rough morning. It's been an eye-opening morning, right? So I titled this video, Let's Talk Ironic and Iconic. So first I'm going to tell you iconic and show it to you, but while I talk ironic, right? So I woke up this morning to an email saying you could grab this palette for $10. Not doll hairs, dollars. $10 with any $100 order. So if you've been thinking skincare, here's the thing, is $100 of Farmasi stuff is like a lot. Like people message me all the time. They're like, hey, could I get like a full face, maybe a few skincare items for $100? I'm like, yep. So the easiest way to get to $100 is either a ton of makeup or let's get you started with some skincare and maybe some foundation, some primer, things like that, right? And then you can grab the eyeshadow palette for $10. I think it's an amazing deal and I want to show it to you. It is called Iconic. But here's the deal. I want to tell you about something ironic. So this morning, my hair, I don't know what's happening. This morning, I'm going to attempt to do this video without crying. If you have questions about the eyeshadow palette, just let me know. I'll try to show you the colors so that if you snag it, you can come back, watch the video, and just mute me because you don't have to watch me again. But so this morning, I'm reading Time, Freedom, Money, I don't know. It's by Ray and Jessica Higdons. It's a husband and wife. I don't know. You've probably heard of Ray Higdons. Have you heard of Ray Higdons? He is amazing and basically went from being like $1 million in debt to starting his network marketing career and then his like social media, like, I don't know, coaching, those kinds of things, right? So that you can also be successful in this business, right? So this morning I am listening to their book and she is saying, you know, as we're writing this book, we see how much job security people really have, right? People in every industry were laid off. I mean, there was some that weren't, but really, even people who weren't and said, no, I didn't get laid off, there were probably people in that industry that did, right? So I actually was one of those people that were laid off last year. And I was laid off for several months. And I never, ever dreamed I would be laid off. For a couple of reasons, really. One, my sister is my boss. She doesn't want to see my family struggle. And that was like on the bottom of the list, right? Because here's some of, I'm coming in with this color to kind of blend and transition. That was kind of on the bottom of the list because here's the deal is I bill insurance for an ophthalmology practice. I wouldn't be able to be laid off because I bring in the money. I bring in the money, you guys. Like every check that we get paid, that's because I did something, right? Every check we write is because I did something to get us money. So me, I'm never getting laid off. I mean, my sister's my boss and I bring in the money. And I am amazing at what I do. Like I'm the child at work that you know how you have that child who gets all A's all the time, right? And then they bring home a B plus and you're like, what the hell happened? You weren't trying. You weren't doing your things. Did you do your homework? Were you paying attention in class? What were you doing? Like a teacher this year emailed me that Dryden was being disruptive in class and I freaked out. Like freaked out. That's why we're talking about it, Kelly. Freaked out. Because that's not him. He has never had a behavior problem in class. Ever. Never. Now, to the child who brings home B's and C's. That's fine, right? I mean, they get down to a D or an F, there's a problem. But that's where they're at, right? That's them trying their hardest, right? But that C student brings home an F, you're freaking out. That A student brings home a B, you're freaking out. It's where you've set that bar, right? So I've set the bar very high at my office, okay? If I barely do anything or miss anything, I am talked to about it. And it is not a fun conversation. Not even a little bit, okay? So this is where I'm at my job. I'm good at my job. I am like amazing at my job. I get talked to over the littlest things ever. Because that's where the expectation of me lies, right? So I'm definitely not getting laid off, right? Not getting laid off. I'm the best at what I do. I'm confident in saying that. I am the best. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this, but this shadow has fallout. It's probably this brush that I'm using because it's really loose and it's not really packing it on there. But just don't rub it with your hand if you get any kind of fallout. Okay, take a big fluffy brush and just brush it off. And it didn't smear it, it didn't do anything. That's probably because I have some setting spray on there too, but yes. So I definitely am not getting laid off. And then I got the call that I was being laid off. And it actually turned out to be the greatest thing that had ever happened to me in my entire life because it made me realize what priorities I had placed in life and what I wanted more out of life. So God always knows, right? But at the time when I was told I was laid off, I was shocked because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know at that point what unemployment was. I wasn't even thinking I could get unemployment. All I'm thinking about is, okay, so I'm going to lose my car. I'm going to be evicted. All of our utilities are going to be shut off. I'm not going to be able to feed my kids. We're all going to die in the street in a cardboard box. That's where my mind went, right? Because that was like, of course my mind went there, right? Because that's me and I'm a little dramatic sometimes. But here's the thing. Today, I'm going to work and I have to train someone to do my job so that oh, that's the wrong color. So that they can help someone do their job because someone else needs help doing their job. They cannot do their job, right? They need help doing the job. So I have to train that person to do and help someone else do their job that can't do their job that was chosen to work while I was laid off. Does it seem ironic to you? Does that seem just a little bit crazy to you? Like, maybe I'm not making sense with this. I have to train the person that will help the person that does my job in a different office and needs help. So someone else has to help them. They were chosen to keep their job while I was laid off. The reality of that kind of job security, y'all, that's scary. To think that if I hadn't had a fallback plan, that we could have potentially had nothing. Like at any moment, I could lose my job. Right before I was laid off, I was accused of stealing from the company. I've been there almost 10 years. And I was accused of stealing from the company. I've worked and dealt with your money for 10 years, and you think I'm the person. I'm the person. It's ironic, y'all. It's ironic. And it's scary. And if something like that didn't happen to you last year, feel really, really, really lucky. Because I'm today going into work to train a person to do my job at another office because that person cannot do their job. And she was kept over me. when layoffs came because of seniority. That's insane, you guys. That is insane. Whenever I was reading this morning in my book, and she said no one has job security, I thought, I wonder if people know that. Because I didn't know that. I was literally shocked last year when my sister calls me and says, if you were going to be laid off, would you rather have a call or like a mass text message for everyone who is being laid off? And I had no idea she was talking about me. Not a clue. And I said, well, if I'm in your position, I honestly, people were kind of expecting this to happen, right? So I would probably send a mass text message. Otherwise, each person is going to be a really, really, really lengthy call. And like over half of our office was laid off. So do you have that kind of time, right? And she's like, yes, true. Okay. So you're being laid off. I'm like, are you practicing? Like, that's what you're going to say to people? I think it needs to probably be a little more in-depth, text message. She's like, no, I'm going to send the text, but you will be on it. You guys, I didn't have a clue. I thought I had job security. I am, so thankful that, I had my unemployment. Thank goodness for that, right? Thank goodness for that. But at the same time, what if that hadn't been there? Or what if it had, eventually it's going to run out, right? Eventually it won't be there anymore. It won't be there anymore. What happens when that happens? Like, serious question. What do you do when that happens? Because I never in a million years dreamed it would happen to me. Never. Y'all, I bring in the money. And I bring in the money well. Like no one has ever in the history of this office done as well as me doing this job. They tell me this. I don't get raises. And I make $2 more an hour than when I started there 10 years ago. And I'm thankful for my job. I'm thankful for the flexibility. I am thankful for the pay. I am thankful for the benefits. He is always very generous at Christmas time. Like, I'm appreciative, for sure. But there's no job security there at all, whatsoever. And that's scary because if something happens to my job, what do I do? How do I make my car payment? Do I go back to having my cell phone shut off all the time? And at that point, does it just never get turned back on? Because I won't be waiting for payday, because there wouldn't be. You guys, if you didn't experience something like that last year, you may not understand why I am so passionate about Farmasi. Because it literally has saved my family over and over and over again. It takes us on trips that we couldn't afford otherwise. I get to buy my Herbalife every month. There were months that I wanted to do Herbalife, but I couldn't afford it, right? Because it's expensive. It's amazing and it's great and I love it, but it's expensive. And now, because of Farmasi, I can even buy the iced mocha coffee from them as well as my shakes and my tea. It's those things, right? Because I'm not just paying the bills, but here's the thing is, if something happens to my job tomorrow and there's no unemployment, there's no income, I know 100% that I cannot find another job doing what I do, making the money that I do. Because I don't know if you've heard my story, but before this job, I was working for the state of Missouri in a job that I actually really, really loved. And I was working towards a goal to work with the state with my master's in psychology and criminal justice. So I knew that if I started at the bottom, when I started that degree, by the time I would get there, I would prove myself and I would be able to get and apply for other jobs within the state. And I was just super excited about that. And when I applied for this job, I knew it had to be life-changing, right? So I doubled the income that I was making at the state and told them that's what I had to have because I needed it to be life-changing to get out of the field that I wanted to do for the rest of my life, to do something that brought me no joy, right? But my family didn't need it, right? We were losing our cars. We were usually down to one car. Like, it was awful, right? And they said, okay. And I was just like, oh, crap. So I had to take the job. So I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for this job. There is not a day that goes by that I do not thank God for this job. But at the same time, it's not secure. I can be the best at what I do. I can have the best follow-up. I can collect the most money. I can be so efficient and so amazing, and I can show up every day and I can give 150% every single day. And at the end of the day, it doesn't freaking matter. And this morning when I'm reading that book, I was reminded of that, and I was just like, ouch. I forgot how much that hurt a year ago when that happened. I don't know where my brow stuff is, but the bundle today, I changed it up for you. And this is it because it's iconic and it's ironic and I don't really know, but the palette is only $10 when you spend $100. So message me before you order. Here's the brow stuff. This is the bundle: the brows, the mascara, the palette, and the eyeliner. And today you'll actually, when we spend $100, I really want you to do that on skincare because I love it. It's affordable. You can get so much stuff and have a whole regimen, right? And I can tell you how to use it and show you. And all you have to do is tell me what you want from your skincare and I can pick the right skincare line for you because we have one for everything. So I want you to get some skincare, some foundation, some maybe the peach palette because you know how much I love it, all the things. And then you can snag that for $10. So you guys, don't put yourself in a position to where you don't have multiple streams of income because at any given time, one can go away. One can just be gone. And as I'm reading that book this morning, standing there making Kyle's lunch and breakfast and Dryden's lunch, and I'm just crying because I was just like, this is so spot on. And I felt that last year. I felt that lack of job security when I was accused of stealing and had to have a whole thing. And I was just like, what? Me? No. Like, do you know me? Do you honestly think that? Like, that's what you feel about me. Okay. Now I know where we stand, right? And then just a few months after that, I'm laid off for like months. And I was just like, wow. And now I've been back to work for like what? Oh, I don't even know, almost a year or so, or I don't know. But I just think I forgot how that felt to have that whole rug pulled out from under you when you never dreamed it could happen. Okay, so I'm gonna get off here, but this is the eye look. What do you guys think of the eye look? Yes or no? You gotta tell me. I might try to do a tutorial later and talk you through it, but I think that you can do it even with it. And if you buy it, I'm not above a quick, FaceTime, call, Zoom, whatever you can do to work through it and show it together. So, I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. My nose is running now, you guys. I am a mess and I am aware. Yesterday on Instagram, I posted this quote that said, I know I'm a handful. That's why you have two hands. I love you guys so much. If you want to know more about this opportunity, just tell me your questions. I have learned over the last 6 years that I am super excited about this business and I can kind of fire hydrant you sometimes. So I have actually stopped doing that. And you just ask me and I'll tell you what you want to know instead of me telling you everything I know. Because it's literally impossible. Colors are gorgeous. And it's only $10 with a $100 order. So I'm super excited because I really loved how this look turned out today. Especially paired with the lipstick. It is the 06. I think it's Superstar. I think it is gorgeous. And it's pretty transfer resistant once it really, really dries. I did have on the lip plumper underneath of it. So mine is probably not transfer proof. Nope. Because I put that gloss on underneath of it. Apply it to dry lips and it's definitely not coming off. And this is not coming off either. So once it's there to stay. Don't worry, I just gave myself a little cap. It's fine. It's fine. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing day. And I will talk to you guys later.